What's up, nerds? Bannick13 here, about to show you the absolutely most insane build that I've come up with in a while now. This is Tal Rasha's set, and we're using Fire Blast to blast through enemies like absolute butter. You guys will not see anything faster than this thing right here, and I'm going to show you an example right off the bat so you know what I'm talking about here. Check this shit out. Let's go Fields of Misery. You guys are gonna freak, absolutely freak. Check this out. So we just go around fire blasting and wow, we turn packs into mush. And basically this build really shines when you kill elites. So you will fly through rifts like you will not believe, boys and girls. Check this out. If you're good at running around the screen, then you're going to be good at this build because it practically requires no skill at all. You just got to run around. Just got to run around.
I am unstoppable.
All right, here we go. Here's some elites. Oh no, we have elites. And when you actually kill an elite pack, that is when your damage absolutely shines. It is unreal. All your cooldowns practically go down to zero. And you guys get the point, yeah? You get the point. If you're good at running, you're good at this build. You get the point, yeah? Absolutely insane. Now, let's go back and talk about our skills, what we have in Cat Eye's Cube, and obviously our gear. Alright, so beginning with our gear, we've got Tal Rasha's helm, Tal Rasha's chest, Tal Rasha's amulet, and Tal Rasha's legs, as well as Tal Rasha's offhand. Alright, so 5 items, and I'll show you in a moment, Cat Eye's Cube. We've got the Ring of Royal Grandeur to make sure we get a 6 set bonus, and most importantly we also have 3 items from the Firebird set. We've got our shoulders, our gloves, and our boots, and again with the Ring of Royal Grandeur we get the 4 set bonus, so this adds to our fire damage with Fire Blast. It's absolutely insane. So getting back onto gear, it's the same story. Make sure you have crit and your primary stat on your helm. With your chest piece, explosive blast, anywhere you can add explosive blast damage is definitely a plus. Going back to the helm, you must have your cooldown reduction as well. So this build is all about cooldown reduction and extra damage with explosive blast. And as usual, with any damage dealing build, your crit damage and crit chance. Okay. So shoulders, I got shitty shoulders. I've got reduced cooldown of all skills, but you want explosive blast damage for your shoulders as well. All right. I haven't rolled the perfect set of shoulders. I haven't rolled the perfect set of gear at all. My gear is very, very average at best, but you saw me melt down enemies like nothing, you know, so it just goes to show gear isn't that important. But if you are trying to farm the perfect items for this particular build, then I'll let you know exactly what you need. So make sure with your shoulders, cooldown of all skills, and you also need Fire Blast. Your gloves, critical hit chance, critical hit damage. You also will want cooldown reduction there. We're using focus and restraint. I'll get to the gems in a second. Now, very importantly, we're using gold wrap. Now, gold wrap is what we want for our survivability here. Otherwise, we will die very, very easily. I actually used this build for a while without gold wrap. Once I put gold wrap in, it made things a hell of a lot better. So gold wrap is very important and definitely is a must for this build. And it goes hand in hand with Boon of the Hoarder, which again, I'll get to my gems in a second. The pants. Wand of Woe is another must-have item for this. So with Explosive Blast, it has 3 additional Explosive Blasts when you activate Explosive Blast. Alright, so this is huge for our damage, and with Explosive Blast and Chain Reaction, the multipliers are just insane. That's why we can run around and just kill absolutely everything. Everything just dies. Alright, so you must have Wand of Woe, preferably an Ancient. That'll really boost your damage big time by like 25-30%. Boots, nothing special there. I've still got disintegrate damage from my Firebird. my Firebird build, but obviously have your explosive blast damage there. I'm not going to change it at the moment. I'm just telling you, if you want to, you know, specialize in this build, what you have to do, get explosive blast damage anywhere you can, and Tal Rasha's offhand. All right, we definitely want crit, we want explosive blast damage, and anything else that suits. All right, socket definitely isn't that important. Mine one's just there. That's just how it rolled for me. All right. Braces, we probably want Nemesis braces for this, but I'm just using Ashengar's blood braces. As you can see, it rolled as 99% increasing potency of our shields, so I'm just keeping this. It's pretty nice. Otherwise, that's pretty much it for gear. Let's go to our gems. Boon of the Hoarder, very, very important. Goes hand in hand with gold wrap. All right, this is absolutely important. Once we kill enemies, we get an explosion of gold. Well, it's a 77.5% chance anyway at the moment until I rank up that gem, but that's plenty. You get plenty of gold, and with gold wrap, it'll increase your armor. So survivability is huge for a wizard. You know, we get taken down very easily. With this combination of these two, you will not struggle at all, because picking up gold and increasing armor, your toughness will just go through the roof. You will not have an issue, I guarantee you. I've seen guys using a similar build with toughness below like 6 million. It's unreal. But once your multipliers take effect with these two, you won't have any issues whatsoever, but you must have this combination there. Bane of the Trapped, which is a good one, obviously increasing your damage against enemies that are slowed or frozen. And I'm using Efficacious Toxin, but this is kind of optional. You can use whatever suits you. If you find yourself a little bit fragile, you can add the survivability gem. Bane of the Powerful is a real good one because we're targeting elites so much. Elites is what's really going to increase our damage big time. You can go with that, or Wreath of Lightning. There's a lot of options. Just go with something with your playstyle. Just make sure you have Boon of the Hoarder and Bane of the Trapped. The third one's kind of optional. Go with your playstyle, whatever you want to put in there. Experiment. You don't need me to tell you everything that you need to do. All right. Now let's get into these set bonuses. All right. So 2 set bonuses: damaging enemies with arcane, cold, fire, or lightning will cause a meteor of the same damage type to fall from the sky. All right, nothing too fancy there. Now, 4 set: arcane, cold, fire, and lightning attacks each increase all of your resistances by 25% for 8 seconds. So that stacks up to 4 times, obviously, guys. So we're going to get 100% once we use all those attacks. And the 6 set bonus attacks increase your damage by 500% for 8 seconds. Arcane, cold, fire, and lightning attacks each add 1 stack. All right. So what that means, boys and girls, is in our skills we need an attack with each of those elements in order to proc Tal Rasha's set. All right, so what that means is bang, lightning, frost, fire, arcane, and as you can see there, it's got 4 stacks. We're at max damage. All right, it's that easy. And once we kill an elite pack, once I get to Canon's Cube, I'll explain why our cooldown reduction goes absolutely insane and we can spam everything. And this is kind of where Taegook is an option to put into your gem slots as well. If you can keep using resource spending skills, Taegook actually is quite handy for this. All right, so keep Taegook in mind as a gem that you can use for that 3rd slot, which is kind of optional. But that proc with 4, that Tal Rasha's proc, which I will do again here just so you guys can see, I would make sure that that is at 4 all the time, alright? And it's pretty easy to do. You just got to make sure that you're using your skills, and as you're going into new packs, you'll be using them, alright? So keep it at 4, and we'll be at max damage the whole time. So I'll get into the skills now so you guys know exactly what I'm doing here. So we're using Electrocute with Lightning Blast. This is just to proc Tal Rasha's, definitely not a primary damage dealer. Frozen Nova with Frozen Mist, definitely to help proc Tal Rasha's set as well. Explosive Blast with Chain Reaction is a primary damage dealer. Alright, this is going to go absolutely nuts. So with Chain Reaction, instead of a single explosion, release a chain of consecutive explosions. So this goes hand in hand with Wand of Woe, which gives you 3 consecutive blasts as well. So it's just going to multiply. It's going to go insane, this Explosive Blast, which is what you saw me doing as well. Alright, so definitely Explosive Blast with Chain Reaction, very important. Diamond Skill with Prism. Now, once we do kill elite packs, our cooldown reduction goes absolutely berserk and we can spam everything. So we might go through our arcane power really quickly. We might actually burn through it and we don't want to run out. So make sure we have Prism activated with Diamond Skin, and we want to spam these two bad boys together all the time. They really go hand in hand. Alright, so as we're spamming Explosive Blast, make sure that Diamond Skin with Prism is activated to make sure we don't run out of arcane power. Teleport with Calamity. Now the reason we have Calamity is again to make sure that we proc Tal Rasha's set. Now with Calamity it does arcane damage, alright, so this procs our Tal Rasha's set, and as we teleport into new packs, we will make sure that we have our 4 stacks of Tal Rashas, alright. And Storm Armor with Scramble, this is pretty handy, increases our movement speed whenever we are hit by melee or ranged attack, and also the lightning around us will attack enemies that sort of come nearby. Alright. Passives, we want Elemental Exposure for additional damage from our elemental sources, Illusionist for that extra teleport when we take 15% of our maximum life damage, Audacity for additional damage to enemies within 15 yards, which they will be all the time, and Evocation for decreased cooldown by 20%. So cooldown reduction, again, playing a big part in this build. Now let's talk about Canai's Cube so you guys understand this cooldown reduction business after we kill elite packs. Whoop, not Paragon points. So down here in Canai's Cube we've got weapons NG on. Now with NG on, our cooldowns are reduced by 10 seconds for 15 seconds after killing an elite pack. This is what I'm talking about. Once we kill an elite pack, our cooldown reduction goes berserk. We've got 15 seconds to go nuts and spam everything. But be careful not to waste your arcane power, alright? That's why we've got Diamond Skin with Prism, and that's why if we spam that, we'll keep generating arcane power and we shouldn't have a problem. Now, with the armor, I've got gold skin just for extra gold, but again, you can experiment and put something different in there. It doesn't have to be gold skin. And jewelry, you must have Ring of Royal Grandeur, so we've got our set bonuses for both Firebird and Tal Rasha's. Alright, so that's basically the setup here. I kind of ran through it as quickly as I could. I hope that's enough info for you guys. If there's any questions you guys have, please hit me up in the comments. Remember to keep your 4 stacks of Tal Rasha's active, and it shouldn't be hard at all, alright? Use all your skills. Once you kill an elite pack, your cooldown reduction goes insane, and you just need to run around. Just run around. Are you good at running around? That's all you need to do, and press some buttons. That's it. I mean, you can pretty much just mash your buttons, and you will kill everything around you. So make sure you use all the gear that I explained, particularly Gold Wrap, and make sure you have Boon of the Hoarder. These two go hand in hand, otherwise you will take too much damage, and it just won't work. This is what will keep you alive, and you will melt down everything apart from Greater Rifts, alright? That's the one bad thing about this build. It's not very good for higher end Greater Rifting, simply because there's no gold in Greater Rifts that drop, so there's no survivability for us. You know, we'll get killed way too easy. If there was gold, this would be OP big time for Greater Rifts, but because there's no gold that drops, and gold skin, for those of you, those clever people that are thinking it might proc inside a Greater Rift, it doesn't, alright? I've tried, it doesn't proc inside a Greater Rift, so give this build a go. You saw my example at the start of the video. It does absolutely insane damage, and make sure that you're moving through rather quickly, finding elite packs. If you can find an elite pack every 15 seconds, this will just absolutely kill rifts and speed farm anything that you want to speed farm, alright? So give it a go. If I forgot to cover anything off, or you have any questions, please hit me up in the comments. Otherwise, see you again real soon.